Let's go! Before BC gets into what is most likely going to be a lengthy, amplified rant, I gotta give a shout out to two long-time channel subscribers, more importantly, channel members, Josh C. and Clutch City Fan, Diamond Club, and VIP Gold, respectively. Always appreciated, never needed. Josh C., Clutch City, thanks for keeping BC and this entire unit amplified. I appreciate the coffees. Let's get this thing rolling. There's a lot to be said. We're gonna say it now. It's pretty cool to see. Not often do I get to say this, but I am so damn proud of the professional wrestling community right now and the backlash that WWE is currently receiving. More specifically, Paul Levesque McMahon and the heat that Hunter Hearst Helmsley is currently feeling. It is justified, highly warranted, and long overdue. Time after time, his own diehard fan base of World Wrestling Entertainment, what they call the WWE, quote, universe, telling Paul Levesque McMahon time after time, this is who we want to see more of. This is who we want to see booked properly. This is who we'd like to see go to the next level. And Helmsley says, sit down, be a real fan, and take the slop that we're serving you. Because if you act up, if you get out of line, if you try to step up and speak out, we'll take your fan card away. We'll say you're not a real fan, and we'll tell you to fuck off. And fans, sit down. They don't want to get out of line. They don't want to act up. They want to appease and please Papa H. So you say, hey, we want to see more of Karrion Kross, yeah? You're not just going to see less of Karrion. We're going to give Karrion Kross das Boot. Hey, we want to say you got R-Truth finally getting his moment against John Cena. Pretty cool. It's going to be interesting to see what they do after the match with Cena. Oh, what's that? R-Truth is das Booted. Choosing not to bring R-Truth back. Of course, that was the last time the community really showed that outrage. And Nick Khan had to tell Hunter Hearst Helmsley, we have to bring R-Truth back. No, you don't understand. The backlash is real. We gotta bring Truth back. Helmsley was pissed. I don't want Truth back. That's why I made the decision. You guys, TKO, you, Nick, told me you have to cut costs. You said X amount of wrestlers have to get das Boot, and I gave you R-Truth. I know, but everybody wants him back. So Helmsley brought him back, all right, against his own desires. And how's that going for R-Truth? Is he even on the shows anymore? Maybe once every several weeks. Maybe he's in a comedy segment backstage for 10 seconds like he used to be. Remember when he came back, cut his hair, talked about Ron Killings is back? And Helmsley's like, yup, I could do something really special with R-Truth right now. Or I could leave him off of a bunch of shows, put him as a third wheel with John Cena and CM Punk, have him be completely irrelevant, keep him off shows, and then just put him at catering for a month and a half, and when he comes back on TV, he'll just be R-Truth, the guy that makes you giggle. And now we're right back where we started. R-Truth just as irrelevant now as he was 3 years ago. Only Helmsley could botch that. And you want to say it's just because he's incompetent. He has no intelligence, so he has to go to artificial intelligence. But it's even worse. It's sabotage. It's intentional sabotage. Because if he just doesn't like you, you ain't getting booked anywhere. You'll eventually find your place in the unemployment line. Doesn't matter, Karrion Kross, R-Truths, or LA Knight. LA Knight, for years, we have been saying, dude, this guy is rocking out. He's more than just a catchphrase. This is what Helmsley claimed he was worried about. Is LA Knight just going to be a catchphrase? Is he just a flash in the pan so we don't want to put the rocket on him? That's what he said. You remember when fans were completely baffled that Helmsley was giving LA Knight nothing when he was clearly over? And Helmsley sat at a podium like the goofy bastard he is and says, well, for LA Knight, good things come to those that wait. What does that mean? What are you waiting for? When he announces his retirement? You think he's getting younger? What are you going to say? You're going to put a title on him in 2 years and go, see, this was part of the long-term plan. If you just waited 5 years, the title was going to LA Knight. It's already been 3 years. It's been 3 years since we've been asking, hey, do you maybe want to do more with LA Knight? Do you possibly want to do more with LA Knight? No, I'm good. I'm going to go to one. I'm going to go to somebody who will listen to my BS and look at me as Papa H. I'm going to go over to somebody who's got some stock in him too. Maybe some high-class family members or so. Oh, you're related to The Rock. What's your Jey Uso, right? Yeah, come here. I know you did this little dance and you said like yeet or something. Let's get that really big and you know what? I'm going to strap the rocket on you. Jey Uso? What are you talking about? Because they yeet? They can yeet. You can sell some t-shirts. That's fine. He's a mid-carder. He's a tag team guy, right? You're passing over LA Knight because some kids yeet? Because the people that pay outrageous amounts of money, they all do this dance when he comes out? So LA Knight gets passed over month after month, year after year. He's kept off big shows. He's kept off WrestleManias. He's kept away from the Money in the Bank briefcase. He's kept off of everything. And then they use him just to get other people over or just as a filler, right? Hey, there he is, right? LA Knight, he's still getting cheered heavily. Hey, put him in the match. We're not going to do anything with him. But at least we can say he was in that spot. He was in that position. LA Knight was in this battle royal. Last night on Raw. LA Knight. And this is what, even though this is stupid, it's face in a face. Why is CM Punk and LA Knight bickering at all? Try to get a big heel for CM Punk. Try to get a big heel for LA Knight. But Helmsley has them talking crap to one another. So, okay, if you're going to go that route, could be a badass match. Have LA Knight win the Battle Royal. Obviously, CM Punk is already in position for Saturday night's main event. He's already the opposition. You've already had them bickering. Hey, it's sitting in your lap. Only Helmsley could screw up his own doings, his own work. Because he can't do that. Sat down and he thought, damn, wait a second, I can't give LA Knight this spot. Can't do that. Because a lot of fans want that, and I can't do that. I can't give them what they actually want. Dude, you're the one who started LA Knight and CM Punk bickering like a couple of schoolgirls. But he does it all the time. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk before WrestleMania. They had a really good promo together. Still baffles me that two faces like Cody and CM Punk were starting an angle. But all right, like LA Knight and Punk could be a badass match. Let's see it at Mania. You planted the seeds, you laid down the groundwork. No, what happened? You didn't get that. You got Jey Uso winning a Rumble. Jey Uso won a Royal Rumble over LA Knight, John Cena, and many others. And then he went to Mania, and Jey Uso tapped out Gunther in 8 seconds to his own move. And what was CM Punk doing? He was dancing around with Roman Reigns and Sethington Rollins. They called it CM Punk's first ever Mania main event. No, it wasn't, dude. He was on Saturday night, first of all, and he was in a match for zero reason. There was nothing on the line. There was no purpose to it. He had no beef with Roman. Roman was thrown outside to the floor from CM Punk in the Royal Rumble, and Roman threw a fit. That's the rules of the Royal Rumble. What are you throwing a fit for? That's the storyline that we need to see this triple threat now at Mania? So you got Seth, CM Punk, and Roman at WrestleMania in a triple threat. Nothing was on the line. No reasoning. It was so weird. Paul Heyman was the biggest thing they were fighting for. Who's going to get Heyman's services? Yep, that has to be a main event at Mania. Said nobody ever. That doesn't constitute as a WrestleMania main event for Punk. You know damn well that's not what he's talking about. But he shed the tears and he said how thankful he was to Levesque McMahon. He did all the corporate good stuff because he's burned so many bridges. So he's trying to be the good guy right now. There's a lot of fake in CM Punk. There is. And you're seeing it right now when he says how great of a dude Helmsley is. You know he is lying through his teeth. He knows he's BSing himself. Those two can't stand one another, Helmsley and Punk. So he's in this weird triple threat. That was a consolation prize, right? CM Punk knew he should be going for the title. CM Punk knew he should be in the main event, or if you're going to be on Saturday night, a better match than that weird triple threat. He knew that. There should be a purpose, a reason. Helmsley knew that. So Helmsley decided to go Jey Uso, and John Cena's got his big matchup with Cody, and all right, you're going to be in a match with Roman and Seth Rollins. How does that sound? But you'll finally get your main event. So he didn't want LA Knight in this matchup with CM Punk, and he didn't want CM Punk to be in a high-profile matchup either, so you're going to get Jay Yeterman. No LA Knight. I can't tell you how many times LA Knight has been passed over, but now the backlash, right? Let's circle it all back to this discussion. And I mean, when I say backlash, I'm taken back by this because this is their own diehard audience. This is their universe, right? Is what they call it. They're tried and true diehard fans. And this is on their channel and on their vids. And while I go forward, I want you guys to see some of this. This is literally, and we're not cherry picking. If you just scroll on it, this is what you're seeing. Their fans are pissed. Their fans are not happy about this decision. Jason Uso winning a battle royal over people like LA Knight. This doesn't interest anybody. Punk and Jey Uso, and we've seen them mix it up in the past anyway. Recently! They were just in a tag match, a week or two ago? Of course it doesn't interest anybody. And then you wonder why your own fans are starting to turn on you. Hunter Hearst Helmsley. You pushed them so far, you took them for granted, you think they would just eat all of your BS slop and then come back for seconds with a wooden bowl and a wooden spoon. Please, sir, can I have some more? But sometimes you push, you go to the well too many times, you run out of water. You pushed, and now your own fans are calling you out on it. It is great to see. It is the only way we can actually make change and try to get these shows better. Booking decisions, character development, storylines, and storylines we care about. It's the only way when we're all on the same page. Everything BC has been telling you for months and even years. And it takes a moment like this for fans to finally get fed up. What are we doing? We watched this whole Seth Rollins thing transpire. He relinquishes his title. We get a battle royal. You got people like LA Knight in this matchup. And you've been teasing this LA Knight CM Punk thing. And you go Jason Yeterman. And that's supposed to excite people for November 1st, Saturday night's main event. If you're wondering just how bad this is for WWE and the backlash, the heat that they're taking, and the heat that Helmsley is feeling right now, guys, the actual upload to WWE's channel of Jey Uso winning this battle royal, their actual video of this, currently has 3 times the amount of likes and dislikes. At last check, which mind you, this was a couple of hours ago, they are near 30,000 on dislikes to roughly 10,000 on the ups. That is a 3-to-1 ratio. They're tripling their ups with downs. That shows you how many people are taking Hunter Helmsley's booking and they're giving it 2 thumbs down. They don't like it. They think it's garbage. Enough is enough. What are you doing to LA Knight? There's no possible way you can spin this. Well, BC, maybe what he's doing is he knows the fire that's going to be created from this, right? Everyone's going to have this outrage, and then he's going to put the title on LA Knight, BC. This has been years! You're not going to try to sell me that this is Paul Levesque McMahon's plan. Hey, Knight, come here for a sec. I got this master plan. I think for 4 or 5 years, we're just going to have you, stay away from the title. And then wham! Right when you turn around 47 years old, and it's been about 5 years of pissing the fans off, boom, we're going to give you a title. How's that sound? And Knight's just like, yeah, I love it, yeah. Yeah, you like it, kid? Does that sound good? Yeah. That's not happening. Come on! Helmsley just doesn't like LA Knight. He's not one of his guys, just like Karrion Kross is not one of his guys. R-Truth, Bobby Lashley, MVP, so many of them, they're not his guys. He likes the, those NXT type kids, the newer wrestlers, the rookies, or if you got a good celebrity in your family, or you got The Rock, that'll help. But he likes usually people that look at him like Papa H, because those are the ones he can spin his snake oil on. He can try to sell you that snake oil. Because he truly believes he can sell ice cream to an Eskimo in Alaska. He thinks he's that good, but he's not, because when he steps up to people that are not willing to buy into his BS, that are willing to call out his BS, he doesn't even want to attempt it. So in his theory is, let's just keep them, I'll just keep my distance from them. I'm not going to book them in those spots, and that way they don't have a chance to call me out on the BS. So he can remove Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux, and he can create his own Karrion and Scarlett with some of his NXT people like Aleister Black. And you got your wife, right, Zelina? Yeah, you two. You'll be the new Karrion and Scarlett. LA Knight is over with the crowd, and even his catchphrase, yeah. So we're going to do the yeet, and I'm going to put the rocket on you instead. In fact, with the yeet, we can dance to it. And all the kids, and they can drag their parents, and everybody will be doing this thing with their arms. Oh, that's better than yeah. But when the bell rings, Jey Uso puts on some horrible matchups. Turning him into Super Uso didn't work. Right? Helmsley just made him Super Uso. He can knock people out with Roman Reigns' spear all of a sudden. All of a sudden, Jey Uso turned into Goldberg. Or Roman. Or even Adam Copeland Edge. All of a sudden, Jey Uso can knock people out with spears. And Jey Uso can kick out of everybody's finisher. 12 times a match, by the way. Yeah, you didn't know he was Superman. Nobody did. Helmsley just overnight just said, we're going to add that to your gimmick. Gunther's going to lock you in his choke, but you're just going to take a nap, and when you wake up, you power out of it like a superhero, and you put him in the choke, and he's going to tap in 8 seconds. Because, man, your choke, Jey Uso, a dude that clearly doesn't hit the gym, your choke, Gunther can't stay in that for more than 8 seconds. And it doesn't matter if you don't hit the gym or not. Your spear is wild. Your spear will take out Roman Reigns for 2 days. No, LA Knight gets nothing, but there's a huge movement right now as we're speaking, man. And this is the biggest traction that LA Knight has gotten. We want LA Knight is hashtagged all over the place. And again, I think the big thing here is that this is the WWE tried and trues, man. Their universe. is pushing this. This isn't just some IWC thing. So you mix all of this, right? I mean, you're seeing the dislike ratio out of control on these uploads for Jey Uso winning this battle royal and fans outraged. You see this hashtag taking off, we want LA Knight. You see the articles of Helmsley taking a lot of heat in WWE, a booking botcher around the world. Jey Uso, and we're going to try this experiment yet again. Why are we doing it yet again when it failed? It failed. We all know it did, right? The numbers went backwards with Jey Uso at the top. He called himself main event, Jey Uso, but he's not the main event. He's not. In fact, he couldn't even carry the load. He got exhausted instantly. His own father, Rikishi, met up with him at dinner weeks after he got that rocket that Helmsley gave him. And Rikishi said he's never looked so exhausted. He said he looked at his kid, Jey, and said, wow, he was exhausted. I never saw him like that. That was just 2 weeks of getting the rocket. When you're the guy at the top, you got to do, you're up. You go to bed at 2 a.m., you get up at 2:30 a.m., and you do it all again. How are you exhausted already? He tried to have singles matches. He almost landed on his dome piece trying to jump over the top rope. Thankfully, he doesn't do that anymore. His spears are some of the worst you'll ever see in the business. But he knocks people out with them. That's his superpower. Bad spears take you out for days. It may seem harsh. I don't care, man. Listen, I am an honest critic in this space. Amplified honesty. Reviews, topics, discussions on this channel from BC to my audience, to my amplified unit. We're not going to sugarcoat. This company is out of control with ticket prices. That is basically robbery. Fans are going to show up because they're loyal and they respect the talent. The company knows nothing about that. They are not loyal to their fan base. They're not respectful to the consumer. But yet ticket prices, even if you want to go to the last row to see John Cena's last match, you'll be paying $600. Not for a family. $600 per person. So if you're a family of 4, you better have $2,500. 24 plus. If you want hot dogs and maybe a soda, not even merchandise, you better bring $2,500. You want to raise ticket prices to that alarming rate? You want to charge 3 times the amount we were paying just a month ago for your PLEs? Because that's what's happening to most in the States. You want to hike up all these prices and smile while doing it, right? You hold press conferences talking about how amazing you're doing. You're bringing in all this revenue by screwing your fans over for more money. And you think we're supposed to smile with you while you stick a pole up everyone's ass? It was only a matter of time, man. You keep pushing, you keep pushing, you keep pushing, and then you just get a moment. I'm sure Helmsley just thought this was just going to be a moment like nothing else. I gave you new tag team champions early in the show. AJ Styles and How to Train Your Dragon Ball Z. Lee. It's the Dragunov. Ultimo Dragon. Ultimo Drago. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Whatever he is. He's with AJ. Look, I put titles on him. AJ Styles and Dragon Nuts. So you're supposed to say this was a really good show. I gave you more new champions. I do it every show. Dragunov just beat Sami Zayn in the middle of SmackDown this past Friday. And this upcoming Friday, maybe I'll change another title so we can get some shock pyro. Because he knows the shows suck. Netflix is pissed. NBC Universal is pissed for the USA Network. Everyone's pissed because the numbers are so freaking low. And he thinks, hey, if I change the titles all the time, that'll make people go, whoa, what a moment. This is such a good show. No, what happened is they didn't buy it this time. They didn't buy the snake oil that you were selling. When you tried to sell that ice cream to that Eskimo, he took the jacket and the hat off, and he turned up the heat on you, Helmsley. Good. Enough. This is unacceptable booking. Non-stop heels versus heels. Rusev and Dominic Mysterio will get it for a third time, I'm sure, coming up. Like we just got last night and 2 weeks previous. Maxine Dupree is taking on Becky Lynch. Nobody knows what. Why would Becky Lynch take on Maxine Dupree? Becky Lynch has to be a clown for Max. So we can have a feel-good moment. These booking decisions suck. You lose people like Karrion Kross when fans were going, hey, we want to see more from Karrion Kross. So your answer was, we can't do that because we just said we're not bringing him back. R-Truth comes back with all the momentum in the world. Fans are like, dude, this is going to be awesome, man, because you can't screw it up. Not even Helmsley can screw this up. I mean, this is going to be good if they even put some thought into a big storyline when R-Truth comes back. They had nothing. And then they just kept him off TV until he came back as the comedy guy that we all used to go, oh, here we go. Stupid 60 seconds. Nobody was flipping out about R-Truth leaving the company or WWE choosing not to bring him back. Nobody was flipping out because we were going to miss his comedy. No, it's because he put in the work, put wigs on, ran around as a trash can, ran around as a ninja, going into trash cans and coming up with SpaghettiOs on his head. He did everything the company asked for him to do. And when he finally thought he was getting his push, because they said, hey, you're going to be in a match with John Cena before we kick you to the curb, they just forgot to say we're kicking you to the curb after the match. So everyone's like, oh, he paid his dues and they're finally going to give R-Truth a... No! Pays his dues, then jobs out to Cena, and then they're like, all right, you're not needed anymore. And when he comes back, nothing! Yeah, fans are taking inventory of that. And Kross. And what you're doing right now with Becky. Or you bring back AJ Lee for that one match. She'll wrestle more, I'm sure. But you can't just cold turkey, just leave her off afterwards. Like, there's got to be some follow-up or some reason she's taking the hiatus. Right? Little Larry was involved in a moped act. I don't know, maybe Little Larry is driving mopeds. Larry's a super dog. Come up with something, and AJ Lee has to, watch over him at home or something. Brock Lesnar comes back. For what? What's Brock doing? Brock just F5's John Cena. Same thing we saw back in 2012. The Raw after Mania. Just comes back, F5 Cena, and leaves. And we're like, okay. But I guess we're just supposed to go, whoa, Brock! So Helmsley just redoes it 13 years later. They have a little program that leads to Brock annihilating Cena. And to this day, we still don't know why Lesnar did that. And Helmsley doesn't care to give us a reason. He never even thought of a reason. He doesn't want to do the work. He doesn't want to put in the effort. He doesn't want to give you any time of his day or energy. He's too busy doing podcasts and voiceovers and intros and hanging with celebrities. That's what he's doing. Anything but being in his office to be chief of creative and content. And you go to the well too many times, and this is eventually going to happen. Your own fan base is going to implode on you. It is going to backfire, and they're going to start to hold you accountable. He didn't know it was going to be this. This was the final straw that broke the camel's back. This dude honestly thought that anybody wanted to see Yearman versus Punk. That's going to get people excited for this. Jason Yeaterman versus CM Punk is not even a Raw match I'd care about. If you put it on a house show, I'd still get up to take a piss, buy some popcorn and soda, and jump into traffic. The fans constantly say this, go with this, go with this. I'm not saying you beckon at everything the fans say, of course not. But you have to listen and go, wait, this makes sense. Karrion Kross is absolute money. I just have to put bare minimum into it. Bare minimal effort. R-Truth coming back with this much support and momentum. I can't screw this up. This is money. LA Knight is still hot after 3 years. The fans are still pushing for this guy. I'm the only one that's not pushing for him. Maybe I should finally just do it. This could work. It could be money. No, he didn't choose him. You thought Vince McMahon was bad in his chosen ones quote? Please, when Helmsley doesn't like you, he doesn't like you. And you ain't getting pushed. Or you are getting pushed out of the company eventually. He's got to pick you. You got to be one of his, quote, kids. He's going to push you. He chose Jey Uso. He saw everybody was going, yeah, and pushing for LA Knight, and he's like, nope, that's not my guy. He doesn't look at me like Papa H. He doesn't buy into my BS. I need somebody that's a little more gullible, a little bit more like willing to take my BS, but also got some, he's got some spark to him, like something that's attached to, The Rock. Yeah, I can work with this. I can make Jey Uso what Vince made Roman Reigns. Bro, he's not Roman Reigns. And now we're stuck with this weird bootleg bloodline story from years ago. We're just redoing Jimmy and Jey having beef. Who cares? Who cares? Nobody! Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Jimmy and Jey arguing again. They're brothers, first of all. They should be arguing every day, and nobody should be batting an eyelash. But forget the fact that we literally saw them implode in the bloodline. We saw them in a match at WrestleMania. Remember, we all thought it was going to be so good and ended up being so bad. It is what it is. So, we literally saw this to a T. Nothing is different. And he's redoing it. And they're making a big deal last night. Wow, he turned on his brother Jimmy in the Battle Royal. Gee, because I thought that the rule is you have to throw everybody outside over the top rope to win the match. That's what I thought was the rule of a Battle Royal. Right? This is what I thought. You throw the person over the top and you win the match. There was only like 4 or 5 dudes. I think it was only 4. LA Knight, Jimmy, Jey, and Dominic Mysterio. LA Knight and Jimmy were over the top rope trying to push each other over. Dominic was like outside the ring or knocked out. So Jey was just like, all right, I'll try to get 2 out of the 3 people I need to eliminate. I'll try to get that done right now since they're already over the top rope. And it's not like I'm flipping my brother off, kicking him in the nuts with a low blow and then chucking him over. No. He's got this thing going on with LA Knight. I have to throw them out first, and then I have to concentrate on Mysterio. So he was in a wrestling match where you throw people over the top rope. He eliminated LA Knight and Jimmy Uso. And commentary is acting like this is the biggest betrayal known to mankind. Not Mick Foley, but humanity. How could he have done this? The bigger story here is what Jey did to Jey. This is true. You guys can check it out. This is what commentary was selling. The bigger story here, guys, is what Jey did to Jimmy. I can't believe what he did. This is... it's not going to go over well with Jimmy. I can't believe that. What can't you believe? Was he supposed to wait for Jimmy to get eliminated by LA Knight? Or hope that Jimmy took care of LA Knight, gets back into the ring and squares up with him? And then face to face try to throw each other over the top rope? That's not how it works. You just made it harder for yourself. Jimmy is hanging over the top rope with LA Knight, and there's only 3 of them that you have to eliminate. So Jay's going to take out 2 of them. What the heck is the issue? They don't even think about the stories they are trying to tell. It's bad enough they don't tell any. And when they do try, there's no sense being made. No common sense, no logic. And then you wonder why your own fan base is turning their backs on you. One of the most baffling and frustrating things is that a lot of this is sitting in their lap. Like, you can't screw this up. You would have to go out of your way to screw this up. Like, you would have to go out of your way to piss off your fans this much to the point where millions have stopped watching the product within the last 10 years. To the point where your own tried and true diehard fan base is like, what are you doing? And they will buy into anything that you're serving up. You'd have to go out of your way to screw it up. Self-sabotage. And that's what Helmsley does time after time. I mean, Bron Breakker. Seth Rollins is out. Okay. The original report we're getting is Punk was never going to win the title on a Saturday Night's Main Event anyway. Rollins was keeping that. Okay, so Bron Breakker. It's almost like they were going that route, right? He was leading the group last week when they took out Seth. He had the title in his hand to start Raw. Last night, he's got the title. So it's almost like they're conditioning everybody to see, like, he's going to come out with the title November 1st. And he's a heel. Punk is a face. What a wild concept in pro wrestling. You're telling me a face is going to take on a heel for the title? All right. And Bron Breakker makes the most sense anyway. If you're not going like LA Knight, which for some reason, Helmsley planted those seeds as well. Punk versus LA Knight. What? Makes no sense. But all right. You were doing that for weeks. This is the natural culmination, LA Knight winning this Battle Royal. But no. Okay, so what about Bron Breakker? The only other one that makes any sense. No, Jey Uso, a face versus a face. One of them. Nobody wins here. I think that's why everybody is so pissed off at this. We know it should have been, if you ain't going the LA Knight route, you're going Bron Breakker, and he chose to go neither. What? But on top of that, nobody wins. CM Punk, it doesn't win. If he beats Jey Uso, he beat Jey Uso for a champ. His world title, we've been waiting since he came back for this. We know eventually he's going to win it. They didn't give him a WrestleMania moment. No. They're going to give him a Saturday Night's Main Event moment in Utah. How is that a moment? What is that? How is that any better than the titles changing hands in the middle of a Raw and a SmackDown these days, which is all we get? That would be the only hey, they actually did it on a Saturday night, BC. CM Punk beats Jey. Think about all of those big matches CM Punk has had in his career, whether it's John Cena, Helmsley himself, Undertaker, Rock, you name it. Was he in there with The Rock? I forget. If you thought I forgot that, do you think I'm going to remember Jason Yeaterman and CM Punk? All these legendary matchups, and he's going to win the title in a match with Jey Uso, but not any Jey Uso. Remember, Helmsley books him as Super Us. You have Batman, Superman, and you have Uso Man. Yeaterman. CM Punk doesn't. He wins the world title in the most anticlimactic way imaginable. And if Jey Uso wins, wow, here we go again. The same failed experiment that we just went through. From Royal Rumble on. This whole year of 2025 has been a failed experiment to try to get Jey Uso to not just call himself main event, but to be and feel like a main event. He doesn't. The numbers, right? This isn't even BC's hot take. This isn't my opinion I'm giving you. Right? There could be people listening to this going, I love Jey Uso. I feel it worked, BC. No, that means you're a fan and you liked it. Like I like Jinder Mahal. When he was world champion, I liked it. I knew it was not good for business because they weren't booking him properly anyway. I knew that was not good. But for my own, quote, fandom, yeah, I like Jinder Mahal. Yeah, he's champion. But I didn't say that too much to my audience because I know ain't nobody trying to hear that because it ain't good. If you like Jey Uso getting these opportunities and being world champ, that's because you're a fan more than likely. You ain't looking out for the better interest of the industry, of the company. Because if you were, you'd look at the numbers. Everything's going backwards. He's not even the top in merchandise. Do you realize that this whole year, he has been outside the top spot, top 3, and for several months outside the top 5 in merchandise? Roman Reigns, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Cross for a while, Karrion Kross, and others were beating him in merch. LA Knight was a top spot longer than Yeaterman was. So even merchandise, everyone's like, no, shirts are flying off the shelves. He's got to be in the main event, BC. LA Knight was beating him in merch. And LA Knight didn't get not even a piece of the rocket that Helmsley gave Uso. So don't come here with that garbage. Viewership has gone tragically backwards since Usos held the title. And they continue even when he dropped the title to push this dude. It's sad to say, it sucks to say. I'm just giving you the facts. It's a failed experiment. Out of nowhere, like an RKO, out of the blue. Helmsley decided to push Jey Uso. Nobody was clamoring for it. Nobody was calling for it. They do a cute little dance, and that was enough to get this guy into Roman Reigns status. All of a sudden, tag team. Mid-card at best, Jey Uso, they were treating like Roman. He's the guy. He's going to tap out Gunther and make him look like a silly bitch. He's the one who's going to kick out of everybody's finisher 12 times a match. He's the one who's going to knock people out with spears. They took the title off of him after just 2 months because even TKO was like, Helmsley, we got a little bit of an issue here, man. Like, nobody's buying into this like you are. So Helmsley thought they could just take him out, put a little edge to him, right? He's a little more grittier now, right? He's got a little bit of a mean streak because he's talking to Roman, so maybe he's got like maybe he can become cool to everyone over the age of 6. No, nobody's buying into it. It doesn't work. He's a good little tag team guy, a good mid-carder. They can dance. Him and his brother, mid-gym. Yeeterman and mid-gym can get together and yeet for 10 minutes when they come out for their tag team matches. Cool. They can sell some merchandise. They should not be in these matches. It's obvious. The numbers are telling you this. So if CM Punk beats Uso, that does nothing. That's anticlimactic. It doesn't prove anything. CM Punk beat Jey Uso. Okay. And if Uso beats CM Punk and wins the title, then we're going through another who knows how long of Jason Yeeterman walking around with a world title as ratings, viewership, and everything else goes backwards. Yeah, that's going to solve all the issues that WWE currently has. Let's put the title back on the guy where it all started. Because Helmsley is too stubborn, egotistical, and smug to admit he was wrong. And the fans don't win because, dude, we're watching CM Punk versus Jey Uso again. What? That's who's facing each other for the world title. And you wonder why so many fans are not happy with the state of WWE today. Unreal is the word I'll use, right? That's what Helmsley likes. Unreal. You know, it's symbolic that Jey Uso was hoisting that baby last night before the Battle Royal. This just random baby that was in the crowd. And it was planted there, right? I mean, it was there. They saw it, obviously, on camera. So Helmsley's like, all right, I want Jey to come out and hold that baby up. But it didn't come out as planned, right? I mean, it was bad. It was awkward. It was cringe. Jey Uso is holding up this random baby. He has no idea whose it is, what it is. And he's staring at it. He's like, what do I do? And the baby is looking at Yeeterman. Like, who is this guy? Why is he holding me? What do you... I'll slap you. That's what the baby's looking at him. And then they try. Mid-gym and Yeeterman try to high-five the baby, and the baby's ready to give him a finger and a slap. Baby is like, you ain't touching me. Baby's like, put me down now. And then he finally gets given to his mom. I don't know what a baby is doing at a pro wrestling. I've never seen that before, by the way. I said this in my review. Do they charge? I mean, TKO is so stingy, they probably charged the baby $600 to get into that arena. Or is a 2-for-1 deal? Does the mom say, I'm coming with a baby, and the baby gets to get in for free? How does a baby... I mean, that baby had to have been up by the time they got home, but past midnight? I know grown-ups that are in bed by 7, 8. Lame! I've never seen a baby at a wrestling show. But Jey Uso is holding this baby up, and they're both staring at each other for like a minute awkwardly. But it was fitting, wasn't it? Because that's who Hunter Hearst Helmsley books for, babies. He books for those that are going to accept everything and question nothing. He books for those that doesn't yet have a lot of intelligence. just like himself. Until next time, and there will be that next time. BC in the unit, we're saying check you. Salute.